What made the quietest kid in school crash out? King was basically invisible. Like seriously, this kid whispered so softly that we all thought he was just mouthing words. King would apologize for everything, including existing. Our English teacher would literally stop the entire class just to walk over and hear him read. "Speak up, King," she'd say while crouching next to his desk. He was the kid who said sorry when someone else stepped on his foot. Other kids joked he was born apologizing to the doctor. Probably came out whispering sorry for the inconvenience. I remember during group projects when King would mouth his ideas silently. "What was that, King?" we'd ask. "Sorry," he'd whisper back. "Sorry for what?" "Just sorry." The guy wrote sorry at the bottom of his test papers for no reason. By senior year, the teachers just gave up trying to fix him. Some kids thought he had taken a vow of silence or something, but really King was just scared of making any sound at all. During roll call, he'd just raise his hand instead of saying here. Bullies absolutely loved him because he'd never tell on them. "Watch this," they would say before shoving King into lockers. King would just whisper, "Sorry for being in your way," and they would laugh. The guidance counselor tried everything to build his confidence, but King would just sit there mouthing one-word answers that she had to basically lip read to understand. Even when he got hurt in gym class, he wouldn't make a sound. The nurse thought he was mute until she saw his medical records. Thursday during lunch, Principal Boggs was doing his usual walk through the cafeteria, checking on students and making sure that everyone was following the rules. King sat alone at his corner table eating his sandwich in complete silence as always. Principal Boggs walked past him without even seeing him, but then King stood up so fast his chair flew backwards and smashed into the wall. His face turned dark red, and his whole body started shaking like he was going to explode. He opened his mouth and screamed louder than anyone thought was humanly possible. "You knew the whole time and you did nothing! You're worse than he is!" The entire cafeteria went completely silent, and everyone froze with their mouths open. Principal Boggs' face went from confused to terrified. King kept going with tears streaming down his face. "Those kids can't even tell anyone what's happening to them." His voice cracked from using it at full volume for the first time ever. "You're supposed to protect them, but you're a coward." Teachers started running toward him, but King was already storming out. "I hope you rot in hell," he screamed before shoving past everyone and disappearing out the doors. The cafeteria stayed dead silent for like 5 whole minutes because nobody could believe what just happened. Finally, someone said, "Did King just yell?" King didn't show up to school for an entire week after that. Rumors went crazy with everyone making up different theories about what happened. Some kids said he finally snapped from years of being bullied. Others thought maybe something happened to his family. A few kids swore they'd seen police cars at the school over the weekend. Then the truth came out, and it was way worse than anyone imagined. King had been helping in Mr. Hoffman's special needs classroom during study hall because his little cousin who had Down syndrome was in that class. What King saw in that room was beyond horrible. Mr. Hoffman would grab the kids who couldn't talk and shake them hard. "Stop making those noises," he'd yell at them. He'd lock them in the supply closet when they cried or got upset. "These things don't even understand anyway," he'd tell King. "They're basically vegetables. Who cares if they cry?" He wouldn't let them use the bathroom until they wet themselves. "Animals can't be potty trained." He'd laugh when they had accidents. He'd hit them with rulers where their clothes would hide the marks. He'd pull their hair and twist their arms behind their backs. These kids would shake and cry whenever he walked near them, but couldn't tell their parents. King had gone to Principal Boggs 5 different times over 3 months about the abuse. "Mr. Boggs, Mr. Hoffman is hurting those kids really badly," King had whispered the first time. "Those are serious accusations. Be careful what you say," Principal Boggs had warned. The second time, King brought pictures on his phone showing bruises and marks. "Kids hurt themselves all the time, especially special needs kids," he had dismissed. The third time, King brought audio recordings of Mr. Hoffman calling them worthless and wastes of space. "That's taken out of context," Boggs had claimed. King kept reporting it and waiting while watching those kids get hurt every single day. He stayed quiet because he thought adults would handle it the right way. But Principal Boggs never did anything because Mr. Hoffman was his brother-in-law. The day King exploded was the day he found dark purple bruises on his cousin's arms. King asked him who did it, and his cousin had pointed at Mr. Hoffman. King had lost it because he felt like being quiet had failed those kids who needed someone to scream for them. He'd been taught to whisper, be polite, and trust adults, but his politeness meant those kids kept getting hurt. Mr. Hoffman got arrested 2 days after King's outburst.